Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. So today I'm finally gonna show you one of my favorite moves in card magic. It's one of the most useful moves I know and some of the most versatile moves I know. Okay, so it looks like this. I'm just gonna go through the cards, doesn't matter why. Maybe I'm taking out the jokers, or I'm just checking that, you know, all the cards they're mixed. Anything, any excuse you want to have, just like that. And that's all you need to do to control all the four aces from a shuffle deck to the top of the deck. Okay, let's do that once again so you know what to look for. What I'm gonna do here is I'm using the spread cull. That's the move. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna control the kings to the top. Okay, so watch out for the kings, just like that. There they go. One more to go right there, just like so. And all four kings are on the top, okay, next to the aces. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do this today with one card, with four of a kind, or five, or whatever you wanna do, maybe a royal flush. And I'm also gonna show you how to use it as a control. And coming up, I'm also gonna show you some tricks you can do with this move. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, so this is called the spread cull, or the Hofzinser spread cull. And a cull is basically taking a card and moving it from one place in the deck to another place in the deck, unbeknownst to the spectator. At least that's what I think it means. There are different kinds of culls. There is riffle culls, you can do an overhand shuffle cull, but the most useful, I think most people would agree, is the spread cull. You can use it for a lot of stuff. But my favorite way is using it for setups in between tricks. As I said, for example, get the four aces or whatever cards you need to the top of the deck without the spectators knowing. And that is such a powerful thing, and it will make so many tricks that need setups you know, more or less impromptu, because you can set it up right in front of the spectators. But right now, I'm just going to show you the basic call of one card. Let's just turn one card face down like this. I'm going to call that card. Later on, I'm going to show you a little bit what to think about when it comes to spreading the cards, the rhythm, and all of that. But right now, we're just going to go into the basic mechanics, okay? So you're going to spread the cards, and just notice the way I'm holding the cards here, with the index finger up here and the little finger down here, which create kind of a shoe for the cards to come out. And also over here, I have my little finger down here on my right hand. Also notice I'm not taking the cards into the thumb crutch like this, but much further down, basically only using the fingers like that, okay? So that's how you wanna spread the cards. Basically, right where your fingers meet your hand, that's why I want to take the cards, okay? Spread like this, we'll get in a little bit more about that, but accordion style until you see your card. Now here's what you're gonna do. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you more what to do. You're gonna place your left thumb on the card above the one you're gonna call, and you're gonna use the fingers down here to pull that card out from the spread like that until it clears underneath. And from here on, you're going to be able to feed the rest of the cards into that gap and close the spread. And you'll have that card, their selection or whatever it is, right there on the bottom. So let's get into a little bit more details about that. Let's use this mirror here so you can see what's going on above and beneath. Okay. So again, I'm just going to, let's do it from face up. I'm going to turn one card over like that. So once again, you take it like the grip is not in the thumb crouch, it's down here. You start spreading accordion style until you reach the card you're gonna cull, just like that. If you were just going to take that card underneath and not use your thumb over here, your left thumb, that would happen. The spread would break, okay? Obviously, you don't want that to happen. So here's where this thumb comes in, okay? You're going to place that on top of the card above the card you're going to cull, okay, to keep that in place. And now you're going to use your fingers down here of your right hand to simply curl in and draw that card underneath, slide it like this to the right, and you will kind of feel a little click when it clears from the rest of the spread. Can you hear this? You don't want it to be audible, but you will feel it, okay? And now, if you have a bit of a relaxed grip here, you can keep feeding that spread into that gap, okay? And close the spread, and you will have that card on the bottom, okay? Okay, so you know the grip like this, and you know the grip of this hand. Now remember, you want to keep this spread flowing like this, okay? You want to open it and close it accordion style, and not too big like this, but quite small. Maybe, you know, maybe 6 or 7 cards are showing, okay? And you open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. So this is probably going to feel a little bit different from how you're usually spreading cards, and definitely it will feel different from this, the way you're holding it with your right hand. Now this rhythm will help so that it blends in when you steal that card underneath the spread, okay? So that, you know, there's no hesitation. You need that kind of rhythm, that accordion style rhythm, okay, to make this look good. Okay, let's talk about culling 4 cards now. It's actually pretty simple. Once you know how to cull one card, it's going to be easier to cull 4 cards or 5 cards, okay? Because it's the first card that is the hardest to cull, actually. So I'm going to show you what I mean, okay? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to spread. You're going to come to the first card you want to cull, okay? Remember to have that little rhythm, that little accordion style rhythm, and also not spreading too wide and also not too tight, okay? So maybe 5, 6 cards like that, okay? And you're gonna also keep your eye over here as much as you can, you know, to the left of the spread to catch when the card shows up as early as possible, okay? So you spread until you get to that card, okay? Now you're gonna do the same thing as I told you before. You place your thumb on top of the card above. You use your fingers below to pull that card out of the spread, okay? And you do that, and then you do this accordion opening, okay? Will also help you to get that card out of the spread, okay? So you do like this, the accordion opens, and like that, the card is spread or stolen. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Okay, the card is spread out or stolen out like that. I'm just gonna show you now what I mean with this rhythm, okay? That will kind of blend in with the stealing of the cards, okay, to make it look good. So the rhythm is super important. Now let's get into the details. So again, you're gonna spread until you get to the first card. Put your thumb on top, use your fingers down below to pull that card out of the spread, as before. Keep the rhythm going until you come to the next card you're gonna cull. Now, here's what I mean, it's gonna get easier. Because now you actually don't need this thumb over here to keep this in place. Instead, you're clamping up over here, okay? Okay, I dropped the card there. But you're gonna clamp up on the card that you already culled down here, okay? And what that allows you to do is simply just slide that card out, okay? So it's actually easier once you culled one of the cards, okay? Because you don't need this thumb over here, you can just slide it out, okay? So I'm just gonna quickly show you from the top here. We cull out the first card as I told you before, or as I showed you before. We come to the next card, you clamp up, and you just push it over, and then you use your fingers underneath to just slide that card underneath the card you're already culled, okay? So that goes underneath on the bottom, and that's how you do it. You go to the next card, same thing. You clamp up here, you simply push the card over, and you use these fingers underneath to slide it over, just like that. And you keep this accordion going, okay, to blend this in, and you do the same thing with the last one, and just like that, you can now close the spread, and the card goes right to the bottom. Now, I just again want to stress the rhythm, okay, because what's going to happen is, you know, you can see this card just vanishing, right? You can see it vanish from the top. And that is where the rhythm comes in. And obviously it's much easier to see when the card is, you know, face up or face down in a face up deck. But still, that same principle applies. So a way to cover for that is to keep this rhythm going, okay? So that the stealing of the cards will blend in into this rhythm. And once you've got this down, you're gonna work up a little bit of speed, okay? And it will, of course, look better. But in the beginning, you wanna do this very, very slow. Focus on putting, if you're gonna call the 10 here, or putting your thumb on top of the 2, using the fingers underneath to pull that card out. You know, do it slowly at first, because it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time to, you know, get the rhythm down and get the speed. Rewatch this, remember the finger placements and the grip, and then practice slowly and you'll get it down quite quickly. Another note I just want to say is, if you do this sitting down, you're gonna have to kind of tilt your hands down a little like this, otherwise they will see things going on over here underneath. Another way of doing this is actually turning your entire body like this. The spread is more or less facing the spectators. You're going to be covered by the entire spread, okay? If I'm going to cull a lot of cards, I'm usually turning like this, okay? If it makes sense, because that is so much better covered than sitting like this and, you know, running the risk of they seeing a lot of finger movements underneath. Now, once you get the spread call down, the control, the basic spread call control is going to be easy, and you can probably already figure it out. So let's say they pick a card, the 8 here. You can tell them to just place that back. Let's say they place it right here. Okay, and you simply close the spread just like that. You control it to the bottom, and of course you can shuffle it or cut it to the top if you need it to be there. So just to go through that quickly, we already went through the motions. They simply pick a card, you spread, they place it back, you can show it again if you want to, you push it over, you come over with this spread, thumb on the card above that king, and then you simply use your fingers, as I told you before, to slide that underneath the spread as you start moving the spread, again to blend in, and then simply close the spread, let that card ride to the bottom. Another way of doing it is, as you tell them to pick a card, you first cull just a random card, okay? Just any card, doesn't matter. Let's say they pick this one, and now you have one card culled. And as I told you before, it's easier to cull the card once one is already culled, so you can get it culled much smoother if you actually already cull a random card. So that is something I would actually recommend, to have one card culled. When they pick a card, okay, you don't need to bother as much with this thumb. You can simply push that card over, slide it underneath, and, you know, let it ride to the bottom. I just want to give you one more idea of what you can do with the spread call. And then coming up, I'll show you a couple of tricks in future videos of how you can use this technique, okay? So let's say we're in an ambitious card routine. And you control this card, you've done a couple of phases, you controlled it to the top a couple of times, and now you can actually say, watch it, it's really going into the pack. You can show it very, very clearly, okay? And from here, you can, now I just called out of habit a random card, but anyway, you just keep spreading and you can see, like, your selection is really right here in the middle, okay? And as you close the spread, you call that card right to the top again. So again, so you very clearly showed them that their card is in fact in the spread, in the middle of the deck, okay? Just like that. And as you close the spread, you can control that straight to the top again. Or second from the top. Just very quickly gonna show you this while I'm at it, okay? Once you've called that card, when you close the spread, it's very easy actually to control if you want it to go to the top or maybe second, or maybe third from the top, okay? So kind of hard from this angle, but we call that card out, okay? And as we close the spread, we simply relax a little bit, break off, for example, 2 cards, and slide that card into that gap, okay? If you play around with it, you're gonna see how easy this actually is. So once you've got that card called out, you're simply gonna close the spread, okay? And now it's actually third from the top, so you can do a triple lift and a double lift and blah, blah, blah. And you can keep going with your ambitious card routine, okay? So that's the spread call. I just wanna quickly point out a couple of resources for this. There's a pretty good description in Card College, Volume 1. Already in Volume 1, so I think Roberto Giobbi knew or understood how important and how versatile this move is. So it's good to learn it actually quite early in your magic journey, okay? Another nice resource is this. I don't know if this is in print. Close Culls by Harapan Ong. And this is a very nice little booklet, a good description of the spread call, and a couple or a number of really nice tricks you can do with it. Now, the ultimate resource, and the one I really want you to check out if you want to take this move to the next level, is the Roadrunner call by Kostya Kimlat, okay? The Roadrunner Cull, okay? That's what he used to fool Penn and Teller in that legendary Triumph routine. So make sure to check that DVD or download out. Probably the best place to learn it, by probably the best in the world at doing the spread call. And see you next time. Remember to subscribe and like this video if it helped you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.